everyone, welcome back. This is Denise, and today I'm going to paint on a piece of the Bao Hong Academy watercolor paper, 100% cotton, in the 12x8 piece, which is the closest they have to the 9x12. And I'm going to pick a color palette out of Color Cube Volume 4. And I can't even tell you how excited I am to have these new color cubes and how much easier the boxes are to look at the cubes, the cards, without trying to pull them all out, and that they're made of wood because I use the fire out of these. And then I don't tab them like they're originally designed with these tabs. I might one day, but I don't have them that way currently, but I did use a tab to put that back where I got it out of so that I can at least initially maybe keep them in order. Yeah, I'm thrilled. I am thrilled to have this set. And I picked color card 840. Fun. And I'm going to do the Shinhan Gouache. So I've pulled 127 pink, and then I've pulled 47 leaf green, 44 moss green, 80 aqua blue, 83 turquoise blue, and then I pulled a white so I can mix white in with that blue and that pink. And so I've already kind of put some of these out. White is number 162. Alright, so I'm going to put that back there. I'm going to tape these off with, might as well use like this Holbein tape. I like the painter's tape, but I bought some of this just to check it out, and these feel like a washi tape. And I do have this, I think, tagged in my Amazon store because I got them on Amazon. So check my favorites down below for almost all my favorites in my Amazon store of the things that I got off of Amazon, so you can check them out there. And I'm going to do, I believe, a set of abstracts with the gouache, because I have enjoyed all the other ones that are kind of like this that we have created a lot. Like, I'm like, oh, these are so good. So let's do that today. Minimal, kind of minimal, abstract-y feel, or not. It might not be minimal. I'm just telling you where I'm starting in my mind. Let's pull out a 3/4 inch square wash brush, and I'm going to pull out some water over here. There we go. Maybe see if it'll zoom in a little bit. How about that? I think I got everything in there. All right, do we want this mostly blue and green with a pop of pink? Kind of thinking I do. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. I love the gouache. Let's just, well, it may even be like a little bit of a mix. You know, some of these I do kind of a mix of stuff like that. But we'll see. We'll see where the inspiration leads us today. I have really decided I like this Shinhan Gouache quite a bit, and I'm probably going to sneak this video in a long line of videos that I've already got made. So if I talk about just replaying with it later, and you're like, wait a minute, we've already been playing in it, then the videos have been swapped around. Because I couldn't wait to I get way ahead in my videos, and I couldn't wait to dive into, I picked up the other color, that's okay. I couldn't wait to dive into these new color cubes. So yeah, I get so far ahead so that hopefully I avoid video making burnout, which I see so many YouTubers get super burned out. You know, the first year you do it, you get really excited and you're like, ooh, I'm gonna make some YouTube videos, I'm excited, I'm gonna grow my YouTube channel. And then after you've been going for a year, it's like a hamster wheel. It's like never ending, and you get to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm burned out, I don't know if I can keep this up. Is it rewarding? Is it just hard? You know, and I've seen a lot of, especially art YouTubers, get on the bandwagon of, well, am I an artist, or am I an artist that does YouTube, or am I a YouTuber that does art? And they get real hung up on that mindset, and I've never had a problem with, am I a YouTuber, am I an artist? You know, I don't get hung up on any of that, because I like to make videos and classes. I like to make art. YouTube gives me a reason to show up for my art, so I've made way more art than I would have if I were just showing up in my studio without the videos. I'm very much of a, why bother if it doesn't have a reason or a purpose for me? And YouTube has given me that purpose to show up every day, if not every week. Whereas I used to, you know, do the photography workshops and stuff, but I'd want to create art, and I'd sit at my table and I'd get angry because I'd want to create some masterpiece and I didn't know what I wanted to create, and I didn't have the color cubes, and I would just get hung up right there and stuck right before I even got started. And then I'd be super frustrated, and I'd be like, why do I even make art? Why do I even have a creative business? I'm not creative. I hate everybody. I hate everything, you know, and I would just be in this negative mindset for a while. Like, it would take me a couple days to get past that. And so getting those color cubes was one step towards getting past my anxiety of creating. Creating YouTube videos gave me a reason to show up and create, because now, you know, I've got, 30, 40 minutes or an hour where I'm creating, and I've got to get to a finish point to finish the video. So now I have the motivation not to get stuck on, do I like this? Do I not like this? Is it working? Is it not working? I pick a color cube palette, or one of my own color palettes, or something else that I like to do, or I'll pull out colors to work with, and then I'll, go down the path of what can I create, and not get hung up on, is it going to be good? Am I going to like it? Is it going to have mistakes? Are people going to laugh at it? I don't even think about these things anymore. I just go for it. Now I don't care. Do you like it? I don't care. I'm not painting it for anybody other than myself, and showing up and just getting into my art practice and actually doing art. I mean, maybe every piece I create is not for everybody, or maybe every piece that I create is terrible. I mean, I don't care at this point. It's not something I'm making for anybody other than myself. I'm painting to show up for the process, the enjoyment that I get out of experimenting with color palettes and supplies. I mean, that's part of why I like playing with art things, and I collected supplies long before I actually showed up to use them. And I have a whole lot of art supplies that are, more than 10 years old, because I'd use them in my photography texture making, but then I would also kind of want to do other stuff with it, and then I would just get frustrated. But now I've kind of lost that expectation of I'm going to sit and create something amazing. Now I'm like, what can I create? Just see where we end up, and I'm so much happier in my art and creating. Now I'm not done yet. I'm going to come back and get that pink, but I think I'm going to take my clay tool that looks like an ice pick, and just kind of make some lines in what I already got going. Because I like that extra layer in there that you can kind of see after the paint is dry. Just some fun mark making. Okay, I like that. All right, let's come back to the pink. Let me throw out some more white. Yeah, I have way more fun at my art table than I did for most of my life. And I'd say the color palette cards was a huge step to getting me past that, because I would do color palette challenges and just kind of be like, okay, what can I create today with these colors? And then I lost the expectation of it gonna be anything great, or I'm gonna like it or whatever. I was just like, I'm just gonna enjoy wherever we end up. It doesn't have to be amazing, doesn't have to be anything specific. I'm not creating something that I'm trying to sell. I don't put that expectation on myself either, because the part that I enjoy is the experimenting with the supplies and the play. And when I realized that, kind of loosened something in my mind of, aha, let's embrace the part that we love. So whatever part of that you love, try to embrace that. Let go of that expectation of, oh, maybe I could sell this, or oh, you know, maybe somebody would buy this, because honestly, people don't buy a lot of art. There's only so much art you're going to sell, and you got to build an audience. And even if you have collectors, there's only so many pieces of art they can fit in their house. So you're going to hit a ceiling of what you're able to create and sell for the year anyway. So that needs to be a side passion project that goes beyond what you're creating. And, you know, you need to sit and enjoy this part of the process and not get upset if pieces are going to sell or not. So I let go of that expectation, because I tried to sell art too early on. Who buys it? Your mama. Your mama buys it and hangs it in her house to support their child. At least my mom did. I'd go home and she'd have stuff on my photography stuff when I had stuff out. Had stuff on her phone cases and all, and be like, oh, I love this piece. And there's a piece or two would be hanging in the house, framed up, that my aunt had framed. And you just kind of got to get past that expectation that you're making art to sell, because if that's the only reason that you're making it, then you're going to get burned out and disappointed. And so I like to show up and play with supplies. That's why you see me with the sketch box every month, and the stencil club, stencils, and all that fun stuff. Let's see if we can make some spots in here with the shelf liner. Oh, okay, I like that, but I think what I'd like even more is if maybe I had white dots. I'm going to get some acrylic paint out, I think. Let me move this before I stick my hand in it. I'm going to dry this a little bit, I think. I do see a whole corner here that might need a little bit of paint. Hang on. Right here, we just left a big spot there. Let's just pull some of that in there. Ooh, look at that color. That's a fun color. I like this color. All right, good deal, good deal. I like it. All right, close enough for now. And I'm just gonna take some of this white paint, get it on my shelf liner. Oh, that was very heavy. I probably had a lot of water in that too. Okay, that's very interesting. Still going to do a tiny bit out here. Oh, yeah. Okay, I like that. Sarah, this spongy shelf liner is like the best. The best. All right, so I think I like where we went. You just have to look at it and think, do I need anything else? But today was all about color and playing in this color palette that I would not normally have picked out, and at least setting myself in a fun direction. So let's peel the tape and see what we got in our kind of minimalist, abstract pieces here. Ooh, these are fun. Man, peeling tape is my favorite bit. I'm always going to tape stuff down just so I can peel the tape. Look how fun these are. Oh my gosh, we should do a bigger set while we got these colors out. Like for reals. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. All right. So, just got to cut those apart, but I'm loving where we went. We could have added some gold sparkle in there. Let's go ahead and make sure this is dry. All right, I think we're mostly dry. We'll hope we are. I'm just going to, can just eyeball it. Doesn't have to be exact for me. And cut these up. What? How did I leave that tip out? Darn it. There we go. And there's a couple on here that are already my favorite out of doing this. That's why I like to do multiples. Every time I make something, I want there to be multiples, because you have a better chance of thinking, oh, I love these 2. Even if I don't love these other 4 or whatever, you have a better chance of it being a great paint day because you loved something. That's why I like doing 2 or 4 or 6 or 12. But I have looked at these and decided that the 2 that ended up with the more blue, or the kind of like the best configuration of these colors, were these 2, which probably were the 2 I painted like down here, because I liked them that they kept a little more separation of color rather than going more green, and they're a really good representation of our color card. So yes, and then I also love how on these the Shinhan Gouache kind of separated into super cool texture. On that one, I think that's the one I probably stamped down that shelf liner on, but it's still cool, and it's separated out super cool up here, so water seems to get those to kind of granulate and separate out really nicely, so super cool. All right, there we go. First color challenge besides the intro to the box that I did from the new updated color cube sets that I am just so excited to jump in and use with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed hanging out and painting with me today, and I'll see you guys next time.